Hello, everyone and anyone. My name is Tiny, and today I wanted to talk about a more of a question that I came across earlier this week that I thought I kind of want to put my input on. It's an older Reddit post that asks, "How do you keep friends for a long time?" I can't seem to stay likable to people for longer than a couple years. The friendship I made when I started college fizzled out by the end of it. I have one or two people that I still speak to, but when I'm ready, I'm always the one who starts conversation, and it ends very quickly. If I don't text anyone first, I can go months with no contact. I don't even think I did anything to annoy them. They just slowly drift away. I'm not very active on social media otherwise, apart from texting, and I don't post pictures or statuses of myself. I barely even have accounts on them. Most of the people I know sorry, I lost track here. Most people I know do these things that pretty often, so maybe that's why it's tough to stay in touch. I know that they have their own lives to live and own lives to lead, but everyone I've met has their close group of friends that they always find time for, and I've never been able to find that. This has happened for my whole life. The only friends I have at any point are people I meet regularly in person. If I get separated from them, lose them completely. This hasn't improved over the course of the pandemic. Even if they met up, they would never invite me, and if I try to arrange something, they never reply. I used to think they were bad friends, but it can't be everyone I meet is a bad friend, right? There has to be something wrong with me, but I don't know what it is or how to fix it. What do I do? I came across this earlier this week, and I thought it was just interesting to touch upon after, moving away from a lot of people and graduating and realizing that everyone's got their own lives. I'm not realizing it for the first time, but it definitely hits you that, you know, everyone's an adult and doing their own thing. And I think what's important for this question, why it stood out for me so much, is that I don't think I've ever had a moment where I didn't reach out to somebody. And I know that's not entirely normal. I mean, I've had people ask me before on why do I keep in touch with certain people or why do I stay in contact when they didn't think that we were good friends. Even the person I'm contacting would be grateful about messaging them, but like just to check in, being nice, but there's no real purpose. And I always thought that was interesting because not everyone. Do I have sand? Not everyone is nice, I guess, in that manner, or not necessarily thoughtful. It's just humans in friendship always think about what do I get out of this, or when contacting someone, on how can I make this profitable to me or benefit me. And I just don't think that is a necessary outlook that everyone needs to have. Me personally, I like to keep in contact. I'm a very personable and story-filled guy that enjoys hearing what's going on in others' lives. I'm an old Hispanic grandma in that way. And I think it's just important to keep in contact and keep track of what's going on, not just around your community, but in your world. And I think along for the lines of how do you keep those friendships, it goes with just keeping in contact by calling. We're in a very impersonable world nowadays where people aren't keeping in touch via phone. I mean, there's no landlines or anything. Everyone's always on their dang old phone, but it's important to know that sometimes hearing the voice does put that face in front of you. It's about making the impersonable personal. And I'm probably not saying that word right, but I don't know, it makes a difference and lets someone know that you kind of care when you reach out and you make the time. You set the time aside. I mean, each over each other day, I make sure to call some of my friends that I've kept in touch with through college. And if it's not every other day, calling them at least, I text them or I'll check in on them during the week. There's some people I don't haven't kept touch with in the last month or so, but I know if I message them now, I could probably catch up. And I think that's just the baseline of it is, do you care? Do you genuinely care about someone enough to go out of your way? And does that show? Like you're not messaging them for gain in any regard. It's just, do you want them to be around? I think it wasn't a question personally for me. It's just something I came across earlier this week, and I think it stood out enough as someone who does try to keep contact with everyone. It was a little bit touching enough to think, oh man. But other than that, I don't really have much else to say on the matter. I know nowadays with people moving so much, as someone who used to be a military kid and was able to be stationed somewhere long enough that I was able to graduate and make a good group of friends, having a good high school experience, I think that everyone's just kind of so willing to have one or two, three good friends, and that's all you really need. And truthfully, I think that is all you really need, is a close-knit circle. I mean, you hear about how humans are not meant for over 100 plus groups and big old structures of society, and social media change that. But I think with all this growing technology, that maybe we can adapt. I know that I know over 100 names of people from people that I've met only once, just because they were so memorable, or their first impression was just so important and left an impact. I think that if we just use our growing technology a little more, we could probably keep in contact a little easier. It just slips the mind. Everyone gets busy. Everyone has their own thing going on. It's just, do you want to have these people in your life and let them know what's going on too? I think that's all it comes down to. Oh man. So as we get to a close here, I guess you can just watch me clear out this home. I don't have really much else to add, really. If you ever do have a question, don't be afraid to email the tinywarrioranimations@gmail.com. It's where most of my business inquiries go, but if you would like to maybe send in a question or something, don't be afraid to pop in, just maybe check in with me, say hi or something. I'm just kidding. Usually questions are good enough. Ugh, like, why did you choose here to settle in? Well, while waiting for that tree, I thought it'd be a good idea to have some sort of easy build home. We'll put this right here. There's no easier home to start with than one you don't have to build. We'll just get a nice looking door here. Some shrubbery looking like my front lawn right now. Build a nice pathway. Oh yeah, this will go good. Of course. It's looking great. One thing I have thought about actually is if anyone would actually want to watch gameplay videos. I have my old Twitch stream that I never really use these days. Mainly just from Twitch going downhill and myself being so busy drawing and trying to keep up on other things. It's just don't really got the time these days for gameplay videos. And also right now I'm building my own PC, but not really successful on that right now. I need more bits and pieces before I can get to heavy animation. Big old productions. Got all the wood we need. I think we can probably just move this right here. But that's a twitch.tv/tinywarrior. Tiny_warrior. That's on Twitch. Don't go to that though. There will be new stuff up here soon. I might put up a poll, see if anyone actually wants to watch gameplay videos. It's not my forte. I'm pretty bad at video games. Pretty bad at them. Gonna make a door. And I think that's probably going to close the conversation. Thanks again for anyone who watches these, anyone and everyone. And if you've made it this far, I just want to thank you personally. So, as I close this out for the night, drive safe, take care, and I don't know, just call someone and say hello, you know? Check in on them. Bye.